I had a cactus once that I brought from a grocery store, and it had googly eyes on it and a little cheesehead hat. Because I live in Wisconsin, and you can buy Packers themed everything. Other than a sunflower I planted as an even younger kid, it was the only other time that I took care of a plant. And I liked that it had eyes because I always kind of knew where it stood, because I could make eye contact with it because of the googly eyes. It died. The following is a Kickstarter preview for your consideration. Gardens of Mars is an abstract dice drafting strategy game for 2 to 5 players designed by Nestor Andres, and the Kickstarter will be launching on April 25th by Big Kid Games. Players are alien horticulturalists planting specially designed flora and fauna to improve the conditions on Mars and make it habitable for the entire galaxy. The game is all about positioning yourself to plant flowers in strategic places to complete public and secret missions. Once their player meeples are on the board, the first player counts how many empty spaces are adjacent to their meeple and rolls that many dice. This becomes the dice draft pool, and everyone will choose one die on their turn to determine how many spots they'll move their pawn and plant their flower. So you'll pick a die, and then the number that's shown on there, you will move that many spaces in a straight line. You cannot move through other aliens or through rocks. Players start with a number of flowers behind a screen based on how many players there are. You will plant your flower and then move on to scoring. A flower by itself with no matching adjacent colors will score 1 point, while flowers adjacent to other flowers in the same color family scores accumulative points based on how many are grouped together. This is also when you'll score points for missions, both public and secret. Secret missions have 2 objectives you can complete, but you only choose one. You'll declare that when you score it. The public ones stay out as objectives for everyone. And that way you'll be always looking to see what your opponents are doing or trying to complete and trying to beat them to do those objectives while making sure you don't help them complete them to get points. Because most of them are planting flowers in a configuration shown on the card. Play then proceeds to the next player, who then will pick a die from the remaining dice in the pool and perform the same steps. If there are no more dice left in the pool, then the player will simply count how many adjacent spots are to their meeple, roll that money to create a new dice draft pool. If the player cannot pick a die that would allow them to make a legal move, they have to skip their turn. And if you pick a die that lands you on a spot that you cannot plant a flower on, you lose a point. In addition, you also start the game with 5 special action cubes. You can spend cubes once per turn to either perform a flower swap or activate your special character power. On the board is a little incubator spot where one of each type of flower is placed during setup. You spend a cube and you can swap a flower from behind your screen for one of those in the incubator. The alien characters you play have 2 powers that can be activated for either 1 or 2 cubes and let you break a rule of the game. If you're SteveBot 3000, you can either, for 1 cube, choose not to plant at all, or plant, move again, and plant 1 more time. Captain Bubbles can choose not to move at all, or plant in an adjacent spot rather than the one he's on. Beeswax can jump both over rocks or, for 2, jumping over other aliens. And good old Horace can re-roll the dice draft pool after he drafts the die he drafted. There are more characters to come, as this isn't the final version that I played. This looks to be a solid abstract, all about positioning and trying to predict what your opponents are going to do. Most of the randomness that the game gives you is also balanced with ways to negate it. I like the almost arcade mobile game feel to it, and I hope with the Kickstarter they can add even more to the content, because this is a pretty solid base. So if you're looking for a family-friendly abstract game, I would definitely check out Gardens of Mars on Kickstarter. And as always, please like this video, comment with any questions below, subscribe to our channel, make sure to visit Level Up Games in South St. Paul if you're in Minnesota, and as always, play all the games.